All right. And after country comes all the people that make the Agribusiness and Countryside Development Foundation possible. To all of our members, individual, corporate, special partner, senior special partner institutions, institutional members, all of which without whom the foundation would not be possible. It is the Agribusiness and Countryside Development Foundation is a member-supported nonprofit organization, and it is through your generosity and support that we are able to bring you our sessions every 2 weeks, and bring you different opportunities that may be used for the betterment of our country and the reduction of poverty through agribusiness and countryside development. So thank you very much to everybody who supports the foundation. If you're joining us this morning, welcome, welcome. Sorry, it's been a while, but we do have an interesting topic regarding our own natural and native varieties of vegetables here in the Philippines. I think which has been a long underappreciated resource that could be used for countryside development in the country. Our speaker this morning comes all the way from Bicol, one of the places that has been rather greatly affected by the adverse weather conditions recently, but we're really happy that he could make it and join us this morning.
May
Anyway,
I speak about him a little bit? May I
yeah,
speak about him later? Yeah,
yes, of course.
because this is
So
special to me. That's why. Go
yes,
ahead.
so without further ado, I'd like to invite our chairman, Mr. Ernie Arloñez, to introduce our speaker for this morning. Ernie, please.
Yes, very special. First of all, the speaker is special. Why is that? Well, he did bachelor's degree, of course, but his master's is in public management with agriculture and development. In other words, you can be a scientist, but if you don't develop the communities, it goes only so far. But he put this education into practice because he's the senior research specialist, magaling sa technology, Ngunit maliban doon, he's really distributing this through his management skill and going to all different areas, no? Because right now, he's not only the, senior research specialist, he's also the one in charge, focal person for all these crops. Now, he's special. Sweet potato is special also to me. When I was trying to make my mark in agriculture, I had Sugarland, I took over. And basically, what happened is that I heard that sweet potato was very interesting, and the coverage in the nation at 3.5 tons average. But when I got some science, it's very important. It's a scientist person. I found out that the average with a certain seed from Visca, which is state university in the Visayas, was 35 tons. So I planted it, and I got 37 tons average over many hectares. So I said to myself, what's wrong with the Philippines? We've got this thing, it's not known. And they tell me that, Vietnam gets it and practices it. We get it and nobody knows. In the whole province of Batangas, I don't know about it. So I like this guy because he's only research. He also spreads the word, no? And sweet potato is important to me because it's the first time I really did a breakthrough. And all I thought is you don't need much skill. All you need is technology and science. And that's what the guy is, right? So it's my pleasure to introduce Ronaldo Cabrada, who is in Bicol, the heart of typhoons and all that, and sweet potato hides behind the typhoons. But in addition, sweet potato grows in so many areas, etc. So this is a very welcome thing. We got a good scientist and a good topic. So thank you for letting me say a few words about him. Because he's got the combination of technology management and the sweet potato is so promising. They say they promise, but I think with this, the promise will deliver with this kind of skill. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Sure, sure, no problem. All right. I'd also like to add to the very kind introduction of Ernie to our speaker this morning that I was with him. I met him actually just 2 weeks ago at the second Global Farmers' Rights Symposium of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Office. So, for those of you who are not aware, here in the Philippines, we're actually quite lucky. In the Philippines, there are no restrictions on the farmers' rights to save, replant, distribute seeds, especially local, traditional, culturally significant varieties. But it turns out in other countries, there actually are restrictions. People are not allowed to, uh, although in practice, that doesn't seem to be the case. But in other countries, technically it is you do have criminal liability if your seeds or your planting material is not registered and you are replanting them, you're producing them or you're distributing them, which is honestly quite something that was very shocking to me. And our speaker this morning actually received an award from the UNFAO International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for his work in the preservation of our native sweet potato varieties. And so, truly, this is something that is significant as an opportunity for agribusiness development. I've asked our speaker this morning to also share his thoughts on how we might be able to do that. But know that we are doing this with international recognition, as well as the importance of the preservation of culturally and locally significant native varieties of sweet potato, which is such an important crop here in the Philippines. So, without much further ado, may I please introduce our speaker for this morning?
I mean, Mr. President, I understand your very important engagement. So I said that you can go there. I can take over from you. But of course, you're better than me. So will you leave us or will you stay with us? Because I can take over if you have to go.
No, I can say this morning I was able to move around my appointments this morning to tomorrow morning. So I
Oh,
can,
thank you so much. Thank you. Then
yes.
I listen to you with bated breath. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So, please, may I ask our distinguished speaker this morning, Mr. Ronald Coprada, to please come in. Before you start, Ronald, it would be great if we could get to know you a little bit. If you could tell us the story of your journey. How did you end up here? And, so that our audience here and internationally can connect with you a little bit better and get to know you a little bit more. And then we would also appreciate, because our audience, especially those who will be watching through the social media uploads, if how they can get in touch with you. So that if in case there are questions that they'd like to ask or there are other things that they'd like to know, it's easy for them to get in touch with you or your office. So before you start your presentation, please. Ronald, the
Okay.
floor is yours. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. In Bicol, just maray na aga sa tuwag gabos. Then, thank you for that very generous introduction by Mr. Ordonez. Truly, the sweet potato is indeed, when you say Bicol, it is already attached to the commodity sweet potato because of resilience of Bicolanos in typhoon-prone areas. So a brief description about myself. I started working with the Department of Agriculture way back 1997. And when I arrived in this office at the Albayri Research and Development Center, some of my mentors, my bosses already conducting researches on sweet potato and pili, which is the prime commodity of Bicol, the two commodities, the pili and sweet potato. So during those days, we conducted so many trials. We gathered planting materials all over the Bicol region, and even we we go to Visayas State University to gather planting materials and planted it in Bicol region for a series of testings for its adaptability. But the very significant efforts, I may say, about this sweet potato variety, we initiated the development of plant breeding of these traditional varieties here in Bicol region. That's why, as Sir Julius said a while ago, we are awarded just recently. Our efforts were recognized in preserving these varieties by our communities here in Bicol region. Even in middle of typhoon, we conduct the series of field demo in breeding the sweet potatoes here in Bicol. If I am not mistaken, we developed already 33 varieties here in Bicol region. So aside from that, to name a few, we developed series of studies here in Bicol region with existing varieties in 3 different districts of Albay province. we conducted or established them farms to showcase the package of technology we develop here in stations. And aside from that, we are planning to establish a tissue culture laboratory to produce quality planting materials for sweet potato. Then soon, we will venture, and I am gladly that some of our communities and other stakeholders in sweet potato here in Bicol are also interested in supporting our initiatives or plans for sweet potato, specifically in the Albay province. So that's all that I can say about my journey, how I get into the sweet potato community here in Bicol region. I love working with the communities. I love doing field works aside from doing researches about sweet potato. Thank you very much.
Okay, please proceed with your presentation. Vian, I can share the presentation or kaya na po ba Ronald?
Okay, can you please show my presentation, please? Okay, good morning to everyone. Here is a series of slides regarding what are the activities, what we have done for about sweet potato here in Bicol region. Next slide, please. Okay, the outline of my discussions break down into three sets. First is I will give the brief background of the farming communities of the region. Next is the traditional crop varieties in the communities and our cultural significance of the traditional crop varieties of sweet potato here in Bicol region. Next, please. Okay, to give you the background, sweet potato, locally named kamote, is a key root crop in Bicol region, serving as staple food, source of household income, and an important component of local food security for upland and lowland communities. Additionally, if I can give you a figure, Bicol region ranked second in terms of production volume of sweet potato all over the Philippines. So it contributes around 16% out of the national production of sweet potato in the entire Philippines. So that's why Bicol is among the top producing regions in the Philippines, accounting for a significant share of national output, as I said a while ago, almost 16%, and sustained local demand for fresh roots and processed products. Next, please. So to give you a community profile and farm structure here in Bicol, farming is dominated by smallholder household with a mix of backyard plots and larger family-operated farms. Many producers have cultivated sweet potato for decades and rely on its primary or complementary livelihood activity. Then the production systems are often family-based with both men and women participating across planting, weeding, harvesting, and post-harvest tasks. This description mostly describes the farming communities which involve both the indigenous people of Bicol region, specifically in the municipality of Tabaco City and Tui Albay. Our farmers are mostly indigenous people applying traditional farm practices in cultivating our sweet potato here in Bicol. Next, please. Then the communities maintain rich indigenous knowledge for sweet potato cultivation and post-harvest handling, including land preparation, soil fertility management, local pest control, varietal selection, and storage method that enhance the resilience and disaster-prone upland areas. So if we more information about this, as I said a while ago, most of our farmers that I have experienced or talked to, and the technologies I have shared are most in upland areas that are belong to our indigenous people communities. These practices contributed to adaptability under optimal conditions and shorter production cycle suited to food security needs. Next, please. Locally, the preferred varieties such as, this is the term, it may called Sinorsoganon or Sorsoganon. This kind of the traditional variety or the local variety here in Bicol, if I may share, local food chains, specifically Jollibee, is interested in getting these varieties because the texture, the quality is comparable to the French fries or the potato being famous as one of the delicacy or menu in Jollibee Food Corporation. So this is a welcoming opportunity for Bicolanos that we will propagate most of these varieties, the Sorsoganon or Sinorsoganon, as a source of fries or potato fries, or I may say sweet potato fries, as common delicacy in the food chains here in Bicol region. But the farmers here in Bicol face constraints in access to high-yielding, high-starch, and disease-free planting materials. The major production challenges include the pest and disease pressures, aging planting stock, poor soil fertility, the limited access to quality seed, and inadequate storage and transport infrastructure. Next, please. So what are the development opportunities regarding this commodity? So far, opportunities for communities include improved access to quality planting materials. That's why we are doing germplasm collection to develop and multiply planting materials for our local communities. Community seed system and seed banks are in place. The post-harvest and processing training are also ongoing. We have conducted series of trainings for our communities, stronger farmer organization publication. So we encourage these communities to be organized, to be registered, so that they are qualified for the different interventions provided by the Department of Agriculture and targeted interventions to integrate women and youth in value chain growth. Next, please. So to give you an overview of the traditional crop varieties in the communities, we have a total of 33 strains of sweet potato were collected from Albay. These are the provinces in Bicol, the Albay, Camarines Sur, Cam Norte. These three provinces is the major producer of sweet potato in the entire Bicol region. Then out of this collection, 18 strains identified to be promising in terms of agronomic evaluation on plant vigor, pest and disease incidence, fruit size, and uniformity. These 18 strains is the result of our series of studies already conducted. And we found out that these strains possess unique with regards with the production, in the yield, and pest and disease resistance. Next is the promising local strains of sweet potato identified. Here is the specific variety, the Siete Colores, the Tres Colores, the Inagahapon, Putian, the Pulutan, and so on. This is a series ahead presentation regarding the specific description of these varieties I have mentioned. And these entries were ranked from vigorous, extra vigorous, except for Dali cultivars which showed normal vigor. Next slide, please. So using the, we also incorporated or use some technologies. These are developed by the communities using the pheromone trap. For 18 cultivars were highly resistant to sweet potato weevil. This is a specific disease of sweet potato. Then for major insect pests, the 16 cultivars showed highly resistant to gall mites, except the Tres Colores, the Siete Colores, which is moderately resistant to susceptible. Anyway, to our audience, our online, these are technical descriptions. I hope you can further research about what I am discussing, but as much as possible, I will simplify the discussions. Then The leaf holder, this is the pest we gathered during or the conduct of the studies for all 18 cultivars were highly resistant. Then the stem and foliage scab disease and leaf spot, all cultivars were highly resistant. Okay, then the yield, we gather initial data specifically for the Tres Colores. This is the famous variety or local cultivar here in Bicol region. It almost gave us a yield of almost 20.9 tons per hectare, followed by Violet or the Inubi. This is a special variety. This Inubi, because it does not have vines, it is considered as shrubs. Then it is a local term Inubi. It's called the purple flesh variety. Next, please. So showing you the table 1, the morphological characteristic of 18 sweet potatoes strains. So you can see that the major insect pests, the weevil, the gall mites, the leafholders, and other major diseases, these varieties, the Binicol, the Tinapayas, the Dali, the Wonder White, Sibilia, Itanghon, are most resistant to this kind of pests and diseases. Next, please. We also have the Binicol, the Tinapayas, the Wonder White, and Sibilia. These are also the strains that are also resistant to different strain pests and diseases on our field pest trials. Next. Then other strains, the Sagrada one, Sinorsoganon, the Binukubuko, Surao, Maghintay, and the Violet strains. So just showing you that these figures stated here in the table, this signify or explains that these varieties are all resistant to major pests and diseases in the field. Next, please. Okay, in terms of yield, the 18 strains we conducted on the field, these are the yield data we get. Inagahapon has a higher yield of 20.9, followed by Sinorsoganon 4.3. So, and Wonder White. And these figures if we compare the average yield of each variety that being propagated by our farmers and the traditional varieties propagated by the IP communities, is just the same, applying organic way of farming. So the difference or the significant difference between the farm practice of the IP communities and the commercial plantation of sweet potato is just the same. So no significant difference. Next. Next, please. So I am not focused on discussing this. This is just the basis or our rating. What are our basis in conducting the rating in our field research? These are, for example, for plant vigor, we have index value description 1 to 5. Then the insect pest ratings also valued 1 to 5 rating as well. Next. So I'm showing you, this is the traditional farm implements used by our farmer sweet potato farm communities here in Bicol. We have, this is our farm implements crafted locally or fabricated by our local farmers. The plow or the single lipya, we call. This is the first figure. The next in the middle is the ridge, farrower, the weeder, the harvester, and we use mechanical plowing by using our tractor, which were given by the Department of Agriculture through interventions given to our qualified farming communities. Next, please. Just showing you, this is the specific land preparation practices in Bicol. For dry season planting, the first figure, we are planting in between the rows for summertime or dry season, and we are planting above the ridges for wet season planting. These distinct purposes or different way of planting adapted and give good performance or yield when we adapt these two kind of land preparation. Next, please. So we have a technology here in Bicol. We gather planting materials, the shoot tip or the tip cutting measures around 30 to 35 centimeter long, because based on our study, the tip cuttings of sweet potato has less mortality with regards to planting of sweet potato in comparison with those matured vines that we planted. We make sure that the cuttings we gather have at least 6 to 8 nodes a day or two before planting. Next. So just showing you how we plant the sweet potato here in Bicol in wet and dry season. The first illustration during the dry season. The next documentation or slide or the picture here in the right portion is during the wet season trial. So next. So here are our common practices during weeding or maintenance of the area. Weeding is done on the first and second months after planting, and we do off-bar the field 2 weeks after planting to loosen the soil, and healing up after 2 to 4 weeks after planting. These practices showed vigorous and good, or we have increased yield from traditional practices of our farmers. Next, please. So harvesting is mostly done during its maturity. Each strain have its maturity date, but we have very promising local strains here in Bicol. We call it Tinulong Bulan. It means within 3 months you can harvest your sweet potato already. You can have a good yield after 3 months of planting. Next, please. So showing you how our farmers or the local communities invented a local pheromone trap for pest and diseases management of our sweet potato here in Bicol. Next, please. So what are the issues and recommendations so that we could develop the industry here in Albay, specifically in Albay province? Although it has a lot of potentials, so sweet potato still has to grapple with several constraints. Number one is the lack of clean planting materials. Although we are developing or conducting or establishing community seed banks, or we have developed a dispersal and distribution scheme for our farmers to multiply or propagate their or planting materials, still it is not enough for the growing demand, or there are growing interests that our stakeholders want to establish in the sweet potato industry in Bicol region. Number two is the susceptibility of sweet potato to pests and diseases. Common problem. Then low productivity due to non-adoption of improved production technologies. insufficient post-harvest facilities, the tools and equipment, the lack of systematic database and market information, and lack of variety, product matching, then limited product diversification, and the negative perception about sweet potato. Next, please. So before I end my presentation, the first illustration, this is the one that we are promoting and we are proud of, that we develop a local strains of sweet potato. We call it Inube. This is a 4-month maturity local strains. So I am holding a 3.1 kilos sweet potato root crops developed here in our station with a maturity of 4 to 5 months. You can harvest this much, 3.1 kilos, just one tubers for Inube, or the local name Inube, local strains of sweet potato. So in Tagalog, let me share that pag may tiyaga, may nilaga, or if I may translate it, if you have persevere, you have stew. This is a humorous yet wise saying that brings patience and effort to the comfort of a good meal, often made with sweet potatoes or root crops. Thank you very much for listening. And before I end my presentation, as well, a while ago, Julius and I talking about what are the opportunities that or goals of the sweet potato in Albay with regards to agribusiness development of the industry. So I may share that we already have initiatives here in Albay province together with the local government unit, the Department of Agriculture, the DTI. We are promoting sweet potato to help our local indigenous people to have a decent life even if they are in rural areas. Number one, we focus on agricultural and environmental goals. So as you have mentioned, if we talk about Bicol region as a typhoon-prone areas, sweet potato is a very potential industry in Bicol region. So we need, as one of our initiative, we are preserving the indigenous knowledge here in the province. So we are documenting and promoting traditional farming practices passed down through generations, and including land preparation and other activities and pest management and post-harvest techniques. Next initiative, we advocate sustainable farming systems. So we encourage organic way of farming. So to encourage the low input, environmental friendly cultivation methods that maintain soil fertility and biodiversity. And the third one that we are most proud of, we are advocating also about climate resilience. So utilizing hard traditional varieties that are well adapted to local conditions, especially in upland and prone areas. So if we talking about agribusiness development, so we are encouraging our local communities to develop what are our plans. So I am sharing to you here in Bicol, especially in Tabaco City, we have farming communities in the island community of Tabaco City. We get specific location is the island of San Miguel. We have around 3 to 4 farming organizations there, around 2,000 hectares planted with sweet potato. So we developed already the strategic plan how to develop the area. So number one, strategic development is the agriculture development and productivity enhancement. So number one strategy is the soil and crop assessment. So we need to conduct soil profiling, varietal trial to match traditional, and we are doing that now. Next is the farming training programs. We already conducted series of trainings. If I am not mistaken, we conducted already 2 trainings for that community. We established farm field school focusing on climate smart agriculture. And third one is the mechanization support. So we need to introduce appropriate machinery for land preparation because of the large area. We are talking about 2,000 hectares. Then infrastructure and logistic development, we are also in place. We already provided through our PRDP project around 8.5 kilometers already constructed and more to come. We allocated around 125 million for that project alone for FMR. Then post-harvest facilities, there is already an existing processing facilities in the area. So we need to rehabilitate, upgrade, and provide possible equipment for processing for that community. And third one is the value chain and market development. So aside from promoting expansion areas, trainings for these farmers, we need to assure these farmers that out of their produce, is there a ready market for their produce, or especially the tubers, the press harvest. So we introduce 3 strategies. Number one is the product diversification. We promote sweet potato based products like chips, flour, noodles, and beverages. Branding and packaging, we are advocating or promoting Create. We call it a San Miguel Camote brand to highlight origin, quality, and tradition. And last one is the market linkages. We connect the farmers to institutional buyers, supermarkets, and export channels through cooperatives and digital platforms. So with that, those activities I mentioned are already in place. But here in Bicol, we are hoping much more stakeholders, especially I am honored and grateful that I share this information to the community or the foundation itself. So if you can help us advocate, promote the technology and sweet potato industry in the Philippines, so we could have improve the livelihood of our rural or indigenous people here in Bicol region. Thank you very much for your attention and good day to all.
Thanks very much, Ronald. Really great to see all of the efforts that you and the people in the HVCDP under the Sweet Potato Program in Bicol have been putting in for the preservation. You've gone all the way as far as VSU to collect these things. Yeah, already I can tell you there are a lot of things that I personally can help you with. For example, with regard to the tissue culture and grow out, distribution, nursery, we actually work together with the Department of Agrarian Reform for agrarian reform beneficiaries for the multiplication and quality assurance of seedlings. Well, in their case for vegetables, but maybe something that works. Yeah, actually, super important question from Elsa. How can people contact you? If you could maybe dictate an email, a cell phone number, something so that people online and here can get in touch with you.
Okay, I am here employed at the Department of Agriculture Regional Office 5. My station is located at Buang, Tabaco City. If you can contact me through my mobile phone, if I can share
Sure.
with you, 0956 448 4426, and through our email ad, our office official email at da5.ardc@gmail.com.
Okay, ba5.ardc@gmail.com. And then your cell phone number again is, sorry?
0956 448 4426.
Okay. Well, we've got this recorded, and hopefully we can put that into the chat box for the audience here. But for those of you who are watching online, hopefully you were able to catch that.